I'm Dave Cyderbaby for Rock Radio UK. Today I'm doing something slightly different. I'm speaking to a guy called Kyle Sevenoaks. Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you on this bright, sunny summer afternoon?
It might be a sunny afternoon where you are, but here it's rainy and cold, but I'm fine.
So where about in the country are you, sir?
I'm in Norway, just outside of Oslo.
Okay, right.
Hmm.
Yeah, I went to Oslo about 5 years ago, so loved the
Hope you had a
place.
good time. Yeah,
Yes, I took out a mortgage for the drinks, but hey.
yeah, of course.
Um, yeah, like I say, it's something slightly different. We're talking about a little horror short movie. It's something you've written and directed yourself, sir.
Yes, indeed. Taste in Music wrote it just after a conversation about what would happen to various electronic devices if a cosmic storm no one understood hit Earth. We're like, what would happen? And so that's where this movie came from.
Right, okay. So tell me more. I mean, well, first of all, what's your background? I mean, you've got various guitars there hanging in the background.
Yeah,
You must be
well,
fairly music orientated, I've got to say.
yeah, I have been a lot in the past. You can see there's quite a few. So yeah, musician for many decades. So it's
Yeah.
but out from that, I've always had a passion and a love for film, and recently technology has moved great leaps and bounds. So I finally have access to filmmaking equipment that doesn't suck and isn't a Super 8 camera. So
Right.
yeah, I've been bands and directed music videos and all kinds of stuff before. So it's time to move on to more narrative stuff. And I've been writing stories ever since I was a kid. So I thought, let's put it all together and write this stupid movie, which is what we've done now.
Well, you say stupid. It's not stupid at all. It's a, it's to me, it's a throwback to my early foray into horror movies where I was scared shitless as a kid,
Yeah.
and they were quite, I suppose, not unexpectedly funny at the same time, but they were just so good they become classics. I mean, I'm talking about things like, I don't know, the early '80s era, shall we say? And
Mm.
this has been brought, pretty much up to date. The narrative itself is quite modern, but just tell me the premise.
Well, basically, our hero of the story, Thomas, is
Yeah.
sequestered himself away in his remote cabin off the coast of Norway, on a teeny tiny island, which is actually where we shot. It takes a 20-minute boat ride to get there.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and he sequestered himself away to finish off his latest song because he's a music producer. So that's my background coming into it too.
Yeah.
When he gets a phone call from his wife, and then the cosmic storm hits Earth and transforms his keyboard into a demonic flesh-eating monster.
When I first saw it, it was like, oh my word. How much of the budget went into creating the keyboard?
All of it.
All right,
it
okay.
it took about 4 days to make that thing. It was just a small plastic keyboard. It cost about £100 or something, and relatively. And I spent about 4 days, making sure I could put my hand in it. It was a puppet, and gluing a Halloween mask and making all bumps and gross stuff and putting hinges in the back so I could actually flap its mouth up and down and stuff like this and protecting it. And then when we got on set, we covered it in like some gooey stuff. I forget what it is, Vaseline or something, and some fake blood to make it look extra gross. It was
Yeah.
really good time.
Okay. Do you have fun at Halloween? I've got to ask.
Oh yeah, loads of fun. I'm
Yeah.
always the one with the scariest house and the most elaborate scene outside.
I can actually believe it.
I'm glad.
Um, so yeah, without giving too much away,
Mm,
I mean, this keyboard attacks,
yeah.
and there's a certain amount of blood, and,
Yeah.
and maybe a certain appendage that's missing,
Yeah.
um, and it sort of goes from there, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
I suppose the hero of the day, he gathers his wits and comes together and decides to fight. There's one
Yeah.
particular scene that actually did go, oh, ah. You probably guess what that scene is,
Yeah.
and I don't want to give it too much away. But when you see it, it's actually that was quite effective, sir. Well done.
Oh, I'm glad. Thank you very much. That
Yes,
was without giving too much away, that was a frozen pig knuckle that we had in
right.
a freezer. Yeah, to
Yeah. Okay.
make
Uh,
it look as real as possible.
yeah. The red stuff, was that just that's not
Fake blood mixture of fake blood and chocolate sauce.
chocolate sauce?
Yeah, give it that nice thick.
Oh, I'm not coming to your place for an ice cream. I can say that now. Um, okay. And that was, yeah, we have the dramatic finish, and then we have the little twist at the end.
Yeah, I'm always a big fan of those kinds of twists and twist endings because you always think it's going to go one direction. Okay, the story is over, the person won or whatever, but then it's just like, no, wait, hold on.
Yeah. Okay.
I really am a fan of that kind of stuff. So
Right. So I suppose the question is now, where can people see this?
at the moment, it's with the distributor, so hopefully it'll be coming out on like Tubi and Shudder and possibly Amazon Prime, I think. But if not, we'll just
Okay.
back it up on Vimeo or YouTube or something later on this year. We'll get it out to people one way or another. It's
Right.
being they won an award last year at LA Indie Horror Fest for best monster film, and it's being
Right.
screened twice this year in Norway. My base operation. So tomorrow, actually,
I'm really not
in
surprised.
Oslo. I'm glad you think so. Yeah. I had
It's,
such a good time doing this one. It was a manic 4 day event, but the shooting only shoot only took 4 days. Yeah, but it was a manic. We were up to 4 o'clock in the morning each day doing it, and
really.
poor Chris was covered in blood, and it was really cold. And I remember on the last night, I was like, maybe we should just redress this set a little bit. It was like, no, I'm cold. I'm covered in blood. I want to go to bed. I was like, all right, let's get it done.
These actors are so deep, so divish, aren't they?
Yeah,
How'd you manage?
absolutely. I don't know. Don't know how I got on with it. I really don't. No, he's great. He was such good spirits for all of it. That was the only time he was like close to sort of saying I've had enough. So a
Yeah.
lot of late nights and long drives. Like I said, it took a long time to get there. It was a 2.5 hour drive from where we live, and then a
Right.
20-minute boat ride to this tiny island with like just a couple of cabins on it, and that was one of them. So it was like, wow, it's a great location.
Some of the scenes as well. I mean, I mean, it's a 10-minute short story,
Mm,
and
yeah.
you've used some quite good effects on some of the scenes as well. I mean, there was quite a I'm trying not to give too much away because I want people to go and
Mm,
watch it. Uh,
yeah.
but I'm more music based as well, so the words are probably escaping me. But the visual effects as well, you've taken some good ones and you've used them to a good effect, and
Oh, thanks.
it's remarkable. Actually, for a short film, I thought, well, where's this going to go? And there was some breathtaking moments, shall we say, and there was some laughs, belly laughs. I do have to say, and yeah, well done, sir. Well
Thank you
done.
very much. I'm really happy. Yeah, I
I've
really
sat
hope.
through some 2-hour films before, and I've gone, really?
Yeah, me too. That's my
Yeah,
whole plan with these short films. And the next one we're doing as well is purely to entertain and get people to laugh and sort of go, "Oh my god!" as well at the same time, because that's my favorite type of film when you get a range of emotions, even if it is only for entertainment purposes. But
yeah.
sometimes you can feel really sad or happy, and sometimes you just want to go, "That was disgusting."
um, so so what is your outlet? I mean, are you hoping to do more of these shorts, or are you hoping to progress to longer films, or
Well, I have written another short film which is less comedic in nature, in style.
hmm,
But yeah, I would absolutely like to progress into making feature lengths and stuff like that. I've got a couple of ideas and some half-developed scripts which I'm currently working to finish off. And I'm thinking if I make the short, I absolutely am going to make this next short, but I might develop it further into a feature afterwards. So it'd be like a proof of concept sort of short film. This next one I'm doing. But this one, as it stands, is just we had a budget, we had a location, we thought let's do it. So
okay?
yeah.
So, getting into this kind of business, is it as hard as breaking into the music industry as well?
It depends. I mean, honestly, I've been in the music industry for quite a while, and I think things have kind of shifted to a me versus them, one man for themselves sort of thing.
Yeah,
In music, people don't want to collaborate so much, and if they do, they obviously want to get paid for it, which is fine. Of course, that's how the industry works, but there's a lot less goodwill, I feel, in the
yeah,
past few years than there has been before. And the film industry feels like everything is a collaboration, no matter
right.
what you do. If you make a film on your own, then it's going to be very, 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 very hard and
Mm,
probably won't get you very far either. So it's a collaborative industry, and I'm definitely more for that. So I think it can be easy, it can be hard. It depends where you are and what you've got to offer. Obviously, if you're a writer, then you've got everything to offer, especially if you're a good writer. If you're a director, it's like, well, how good are you at directing? If you're an actor, how good are you at acting? Where are you? What can you manage? Do you have a full-time job you need to take care of at the same time?
mm.
What's your availability? That kind of thing. So it really depends on your situation. But I think maybe it is kind of a little bit easier if you've got the things to deliver.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned like a full-time job. I assume you're working as well on
Mm, at the
other
moment, yeah,
things.
yeah.
How can you monetize short films like this?
You put them up on streaming services like Vimeo. You can monetize videos. YouTube, if you have a big enough following there, or you can try and put it out on Tubi or Amazon Prime. They pretty much take most things as far as I see. So, and advertise obviously. So I don't expect to make too much return on this one. I just wanted to get my vision out first and
Yeah.
show people like this is what I can offer. Hire me if you want stuff.
So, is this the kind of thing you want to keep? Horror, you said, is more, the next film's probably more serious in its nature. Um, is like the horror genre your kind of thing? Is that what you're going to stick to with the effects and things like that? Or...
I think so. At least for the time being, horror and sci-fi are my bag, basically. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw the Terminator when I was 5 years old, which instilled a deep fear of robots.
Oh, I made my son watch Pitch Black when I think, yeah, how old were you on? Sorry? Is that eight, seven? Yeah, eight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Pitch Black at eight. So
that'll do. That'll do
he's
it. Yeah.
still in
So,
therapy. I think I
I can
just
imagine
blame
so.
Vin Diesel.
I would too. But I love Pitch Black. That's a good one too. But yeah, I think sci-fi horror, that kind of thing. The one of the scripts I've written is definitely sci-fi, not horror at all. The next
Mm,
short is horror, and the third script I have in development, I think, is that's sort of a mix between sci-fi and horror. So yeah, those two. I grew up with like Star Trek and Babylon 5 and stuff as well as horror. So
yeah,
mm.
yeah. Um, yeah, so just like thinking on the hoofer, I mean, for yourself, I mean, what made you go to Oslo or to Norway?
Oh, for me, it was my wife. I met
Okay.
my wife. Yeah, and she obviously Norwegian woman lives in Norway, so she didn't want to move to the UK. So I was like, all right, I'll move to
I
Norway.
can't really blame
Yeah, me either. I said, no, that's totally fine.
her. Okay. Any regrets leaving UK?
None whatsoever.
Yeah.
Just I miss fish and chips every now and then in the odd like
Yeah, but you get so much
hello.
better fish at Norway, surely.
Yeah, much better fish, but the chips are atrocious.
Okay. Do you think the industry in Norway lends itself to what you're doing?
I think so. There's a loads of great horrors that have come out of Norway, like Dead Snow, to mention one. It's probably one of the most famous ones.
Mm,
As a whole collection of short films and low budget horror that comes out of Norway. It's a good or bad effect. I mean, but that's like every country's industry. There's good ones and bad ones. But I've
mm,
been really inspired by the things people are doing here. And tomorrow there's the Ravenheart International Horror Festival in Oslo, which I'm going to see all of the screenings of all the horror movies. There's at least 20 I want to have a look at just from Norway alone. So there's
really?
loads. So yeah, and there's a lot. There's a rich a history of folklore and stuff like this to explore with horror as well, which is what my next script is based upon. There's a Norwegian folklore monster that lives in a lake, so yeah, it's gonna be fun. Fun
Okay.
to do that one. Yeah,
Okay.
I think Norway's a lot to offer with horror.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, everybody seems to say that the Scandinavian bands are all like black metal, death metal, and stuff like that. There's
Yeah.
always that kind of darker edge to the music, I suppose. But
Mm.
yeah, I mean, it's just never crossed my mind to consider Norwegian cinema or film industry or whatever. So Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Right. So hopefully Tasting Music will be available to watch at some point later this year.
Yeah, later this year, hopefully, hoping for September, October.
Okay. Uh, what would you tell somebody to say, you must watch this film, this short story? What would you tell somebody to say, go and watch it because?
If you like Evil Dead and that kind of campy laugh, but also gross, laugh out loud but gross you out sort of storytelling, then go and see this. You'll have a great time.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Carl, it's been an absolute pleasure. I won't hold you up too much longer. Thank you very much. I do wish you all the best with this. Tasty music, is fantastic. It just brightened my life for 10 minutes, I've got to say. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much. Thank you.